Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remember it so you don't have to. Remember the movie Little Nemo Adventures in Slumberland? Well, how about the comic strip? The opera? The game? The freaking postcards? Well then, I guess there's no point in reviewing this. Bye.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic.
Okay, let me explain. Little Nemo was a comic strip in the early 1900s. It was about a boy and his adventures in his dreams. It was creative and ran for several years, but that's not our focus here. Our focus is on the animated feature.
What kind of dream will you dream, little Nemo?
This is an interesting little film, and to be fair, you can't really talk about it unless you go into a little bit of the film's history. It was supposed to be the big showcase to America of Japan's great animation studio TMS, who you'd later recognize from such works as Tiny Toons, Animaniacs, and Batman.
But in your Animaniacs tribute, you said it was A-Cab.
I was wrong!
Judas.
It started production in 1982, but was released in 1989. It went through several directors, several writers, and several idea men. People like George Lucas, Ray Bradbury, Brad Bird, and Chris Columbus were all involved at some point. Even the world-renowned Hayao Miyazaki was attached to it once, recalling the pleasant production as the worst experience of his professional career. But what street cred does he have? Writers thought they were putting words to the pictures, animators thought they were putting pictures to the words. It was a mess. But surprisingly, after all this chaos, it still looks like a mess. So, let's sleep for chance to puke. This is Little Nemo. First of all, on this fantasy of whimsical wonder and highly praised animation, just look at how creatively they introduce our credits.
Where will you go? Do you know, little Nemo?
Yeah, this is it. This is our adventurous introduction. Look out! They might be going to purple! Oh, the whimsy! So after that, we start appropriately enough with our hero Nemo.
I'm really flying! It can't be. Can it?
I don't know, you haven't established anything yet!
Yippee!
So he's flying all magical and whatnot, but then the dream takes a sudden dark turn. Little Nemo, entering the charming, magical world of death! You know, most kids' films ease you into the dark stuff. This just fucking throws you in there. Yeah, let's hear that calming intro music now.
What kind of dream will you dream, little Nemo? What kind of dream will be yours tonight?
Now I'm playing with power!
So he wakes up from the dream, and that's it. They never bring it up again, it's nowhere to be mentioned. What was the purpose of that? To show that kids have the ability to dream? Oh, hey, here's another big shocker. Bill Maher might be snobby. So Nemo is now back in the real world. You can tell by him interacting with his mother, father, flying squirrel with airplane goggles. Wait, what?
Come on, Icarus! Let's go!
This is Icarus. Even though all the fantasy stuff happens in his dreams, apparently a flying squirrel with a verbally challenged Gollum voice has some place in solid reality.
Step right up and see the most amazing show in the world.
He goes to see a parade welcoming the circus in town that will no doubt lead to images he'll see in his dreams.
Would you like a ride?
Yes, sir!
So, if you haven't guessed yet, most of Nemo's dialogue consists of wow and yippee and ha 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 ha. You pretty much get more interesting dialogue out of one of those talking farm animal toys. The bland, undeveloped character says,
Yippee!
So Nemo wants to see the circus, but his father says he's too busy to take it.
Will you take me to see it, please, Papa?
Perhaps tomorrow, Nemo.
Have a wonderful day.
Oh, gee.
And I guess that's it for that scene. Okay, well, we cut to later that night when we see him trying to sneak some pie away, pretending to sleepwalk.
Nemo.
That was close.
And I guess that's it for that scene. You know, this movie flows about as smoothly as the Grand Canyon Rapids. But after he goes to sleep, we find he starts dreaming again. And this time he's approached by what should have been interesting characters.
Do I have the honor of addressing little Nemo? I am a professor. I am a genius. You can call me Professor Genius.
Well, I find that name obnoxious and uncreative. I'm going to call you obnoxiously uncreative.
We have been sent here on a mission by King Morpheus, the king of Slumberland.
King Morpheus?
If you take the blue pill, you'll wake up in your bed believing whatever you want to believe. If you take the red pill, you'll end up in Slumberland. Machines!
So the king wants Nemo to be the official playmate of his daughter Camille, but Nemo has some reservations.
Wait a minute. This princess is a girl?
You sure you want to continue with him being the protagonist, movie? You still have time to switch. I'd much rather see what the father's doing at work. But Nemo agrees and leaves probably the most detailed note explaining what's going on since the suicide markings from It. Yeah, that'll explain everything. They get him on a blimp heading for Slumberland, and this results in the most expressive and uniquely creative of verbal responses.
Wow-wee!
You see, he could have just gone for wow, but instead he went for wow-wee. Oh, stand back. A little bit more wonderment and we might get an entire zippity-doo-dah out of him.
How about taking the helm, Nemo?
Me?
No, you don't want to do that. And little Nemo seems to be piloting and it bursts into flames! It bursts into flames! Nemo has killed God knows how many enchanted creatures! This is the worst tragedy ever! Oh, I'm at a loss for words, ladies and gentlemen. What numbnuts actually put a small child in charge of a blimp? I simply cannot tell you.
Note, we are aware that we've been using the Hindenburg joke too much, but in this case we simply found it unavoidable. You will not be seeing this joke ever again.
Oh, the humanity! Oh, the whimsical, cuddly humanity! So they make it to Slumberland, which looks like every other fantasy world from every fantasy story, and they try to introduce Nemo to their king.
Oh, no, not again. Wait here. Search the garden!
Our king is in another castle! Quick, find 7 toadstools and place them in 7 different locations! We have to cover this up as bizarrely as possible! But Nemo stumbles across the king, who it appears is just a big kid at heart. A big, stupid, totally irresponsible kid.
Now, Nemo, my delightful boy, I have invited you here to become my sole heir.
Me, sir?
Yes, you.
I literally just picked your name from a phone book and liked the way it sounded. I stand by my decision.
And as my heir prince, it is my solemn duty to give you the golden key. But I must warn you, there is one door you must never open. The door with this symbol on it. You must promise. And this promise, you must never break.
I promise. Sir, I promise you.
So when does he break the promise? Okay. He then introduces Nemo to his daughter, Princess Camille, wielder of the ever-enchanting on-again, off-again British accent.
It's just that no one has ever accepted a royal invitation in his underwear. This is not my underwear. These are my pajamas. But I believe the royal invitation was for you alone, and not for your little rat. He is not a rat.
Jesus.
So I am in my pajamas. So what?
Don't make me actually care about something!
Come with me, Nemo. I want to show you all of Slumberland.
So, he'll never guess what happens next. They show him some neat stuff and he laughs. This whole movie is like watching someone else's kid at Chuck E. Cheese. You're happy they're having fun at first, but soon you get bored by it. And when you realize you're stuck there for another hour and a half, you begin to hate that little kid. And his birthday. And Chuck E. Cheese. And the idea of celebrating birthdays all together. I hope you're happy, movie. You got me to hate birthdays! He finally comes across a character that's as bored as we are, called Flip, played by Mickey Rooney.
The Care Bears.
Ooh, stop cutting to that. He's considered a mischievous character because he's committed the terrible crime of wanting to get the plot going. He starts some trouble getting some cops angry at each other, which in turn gets them angry at him. So they fly around, cause some trouble, weird stuff happens, and guess where this gets us? Fucking nowhere! But like I said, Flip's job is to do, well, something. Even if it doesn't make a whole lick of sense. And after hiding underground from the cops, they come across the door the king told him not to open.
This looks like the door that the king warned me about.
What do you mean?
He gave me this key. He told me not to open the door with that symbol on it.
Let's open it.
Well, I guess just a little peek won't hurt.
Attaboy.
You know, kid, at least Adam had the excuse that a really hot chick told him to do it. All that persuaded you is a Teenage Mutant Ninja minstrel show! Do any of your brain cells work in a dream?
Flip! Wait!
So, because Nemo couldn't handle one thing to do, which was ironically not doing anything, the horrible Nightmare King escapes and plots his evil scheme. But hey, that doesn't stop Nemo from trying to make it to the important event where he's crowned prince. Oh, by the way, the one thing I was told to do I didn't do, and now an unspeakable evil is upon the land. Crown, please!
It will be Prince Nemo's solemn duty to protect Slumberland from the Nightmare King as I have done. The royal scepter, our sole defense, will be passed on to the prince.
I've explained none of this to him, but I'm sure he will be totally cool with it.
I hereby crown you Prince Nemo, royal eminence of all Slumberland.
So after Nemo fails to explain that he's fucked up his princely duties even before he became prince, the king and his people decide to take part in probably the most awkward dancing put to film.
Your
But the Nightmare King breaks up the party and steals the king away. Thus, everybody wonders who's to blame.
Nemo did it!
No!
Nemo?
Nemo? No! No! No!
What? Are you serious? You just had him wake up from the dream? What kind of lazy writing is that? Oh, wait, he's still in the dream. Hold on. Why would you tell a story that has a coherent dream all the way through, except for this one point? I mean, if the dream hops around, that's fine. I understand. But you can't just change the rules in the middle like that. If you're gonna tell a linear story, tell a linear story. Stick with it. Don't just jump around. That makes no sense. I mean, it's like me in the middle of the review going,
Oh, little Nemo was just a dream all along. Oh, it wasn't a dream. It was real. Guess I better go finish the review.
wasn't that pointless? So his room fills up with water, and Somehow that leads him to the middle of the ocean. There, he comes across Professor Genius, who is surprisingly forgiving of the fact that he's doomed everything that he holds dear.
Because of me. It's all my fault.
No, dear boy, don't blame yourself.
Blame the writers who didn't give you a personality. So they work their way back to Slumberland, where it turns out Flip has a map to Nightmare Land, where apparently the king is being held. So the princess sends all of her strongest armies and toughest warriors into Nightmare Land. Or just a tugboat that works too. And they try to see if they can locate the king. But they get sucked into a giant whirlpool underwater and somehow land on water. As it seems they reach their destination of Nightmare Land, where nothing but monsters roam.
Boy, little fingers. Goblins, you idiot.
Let's continue to just point and look at her.
Let go of my dress!
Continue looking.
Help her! Help her!
They get her free, but then come across a group of goblins, who apparently can master shapeshifting and using 1980s cartoon sound effects.
You're goblins!
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
But it turns out these are good goblins who want to help them out on their quest. After, of course, they sing about it.
Oh, we are the books, good goblin books. We are escapees from Nightmare Land.
Interesting trivia here. Apparently this sequence was originally supposed to be used in Jim Henson's Labyrinth, but it was quickly dropped when they suddenly decided it was too stupid to even think up.
Thank you, old boy, we're going back to work.
But the Nightmare King sends a bunch of flying creatures out to get them. Yeah, tell me if this looks familiar.
Hey, let go of me when you guys... Sue them, my pretties! Sue their asses!
The scepter!
Really? You're doing the bad thing again? How many times can you rely on this plot hole? This is ridiculous! Oh, let me guess. Wow!
Wow!
Tool! Well, this time the goblins are here to help him. How'd they get there? It's a dream, derpy derp! And they continue to move forward.
Off to Nightmare Castle we go!
To incomprehensibility and beyond! Wait. If we're honestly gonna start from the exact same point again, we might as well do it the right way. So they come across a sky giant.
It's so beautiful.
And, ironically enough, he's asleep so he can go through it. It just seems to have a little yeast infection. So they finally make it to the lair of the Nightmare King and see if they can find Morpheus.
Be prepared.
We finally see the Nightmare King in all his glory, who actually does look pretty badass, despite the fact that he's a mix between the monster from Bull Mountain and a jackalope.
Give me the scepter, Nemo, and I'll let you go.
I have to admit, though, that voice doesn't match. Something that size should be legitimately big and booming. This guy sounds like Tim Curry doing evil baby talk.
Come now, for your own sake. Give me the scepter so you can hurry home to your mommy.
I'm a precious little demonic killer. Yes, I am.
But Nemo uses the scepter and finally remembers the magic words the king said. No. You have not warranted a silent moment, movie. Nothing you've done is big enough that you need to be quiet for a second to let it sink in. So everyone is set free, and the king uses his scepter to awaken Nemo.
Your courage destroyed the Nightmare King. and his evil kingdom is gone forever.
You don't know that. So Slumberland throws a big parade, Nemo smiles with his mouth open, we get more awkward dancing, and we get surprise wake-up number 4.
There are so many wonderful things waiting for you today.
Well, Mom, sorry I broke my promise and took the pie.
So that's what this whole story was about. Pie! Wasn't worth it.
Get ready for what, Papa?
Well, we decided to go to the circus today.
Hot dog! We're going to the circus! The circus? Oh, cool!
So it ends with Nemo going to the circus. Aren't you just thrilled? Aren't you glad that he's going to the circus? I'm not. I'm really not. I'd rather see him have his first wet dream than watch any of this crap again. This was stupid. This was incomprehensible. This was terrible. But the animation's nice. You ever have that friend that had that awesome game system when you were a kid and you spend all your time at his house playing it, but then when you really think about it, you don't even know the kid's name? That's this movie. The animation's really incredible and allows for some really creative visuals. But everything else is just so bland and forgettable. The characters are as interesting as toast, the story's a mess, and a lot of time the colors are very stale and dark, now allowing for a lot to look at. It had a lot of behind-the-scenes problems, and it really shows. While it can be creative and, like I said, had great animation, it is nevertheless way, way, way too flawed. I hate that the film took so long to make and that there were so many problems, because that just makes the final product all the more tragic when it doesn't work. And that's all I gotta say about that.
Congratulations, Nostalgia Critic! You have gone this whole entire review without making one Finding Nemo joke! Congratulations!
I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remember so you don't have to. I can't believe it. It's unbelievable. Wait, doesn't this count?
What kind of dream will you dream, little Nemo? What kind of dream will be yours tonight? Where will you go? Do you know, little Nemo? What will you do on your